these 5 NFL trades could change everything for Dynasty Football. We want to give a big shout out to Chris and Pierre over on Fantasy In-Game.
Come on.
They released a video like this earlier this week, and we thought, hey, that looks like a good idea. We want to give our spin on it. Exactly. They did it first, so give them credit. Go check out their video. Go check out their channel. They do great content for Dynasty, Best Ball, and Redraft.
Yeah.
And we also partnered. They're part of our crew over on flockfantasy.com. So if you want our rankings, their rankings, our articles, their articles, bonus content, live streams, go ahead and go to flockfantasy.com/land. Use our code LAND for 30% off. But a big shout out to Chris and Pierre. I skimmed through the video, and I didn't want to watch it yet, but I thought it was a really cool idea. I thought it was really fun. And I just found the players that they were discussing.
Okay.
I don't know the landing spots that they have just yet, but I'm going to watch it after we record this because I didn't want to have any,
like it be skewed in any way.
Yeah, I didn't want to not do a team because they did it or, the other way around. But big shout out to those guys. They do such great work. Make sure you check out their channel. All right, the first player we're talking about is Austin Ekeler. But Aki and I are going to go back and forth, and we're going to talk about potential trades that could happen.
Yeah.
I think Austin Ekeler could be heading to, if a trade happens, the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
Check this out for a sec. Has there been a team more publicly all in the last year and a half than the Miami Dolphins? They signed Teron Armstead to a 5-year, $75 million contract last offseason. They traded for Tyreek Hill, gave up a bunch of capital. They traded for Bradley Chubb in the same year, and now they're trading for Jalen Ramsey for peanuts, basically.
Right.
What's been missing on this team? Quarterback play is reliable if he's healthy. Great weapons. The defense is pretty good. You got your edge rusher. You've been missing a running back that can do everything. Can you imagine defenses trying to cover Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Austin Ekeler? That is a nightmare for defenses to prepare for.
Sheesh.
Austin Ekeler is really good in pass pro. You can rely on him to keep Tua upright and protect him in the pocket. And on the opposite side of that, this gives Tua a fantastic option to dump the ball off to when he feels pressure. Tua, you don't need to extend the play, okay? We have one of the best receiving backs in the game. Just dump it off to him and let him extend the play. Stop this endless loop with Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Salvin Ahmed, right? And company. Let's stop. Let's address the position right now as we're clearly all in. So I got Ekeler to the Dolphins. What about you?
Yeah, I like it. It could be very, very exciting for Miami Dolphins. I have Austin Ekeler going to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are in need of a running back, and I know before you say anything, but Rashad Penny. I don't believe in Rashad Penny, okay? I never did, and I never will. I don't see him even making this team at the end of the season, my personal opinion, okay? So I think Austin Ekeler, yes, he may be chasing the bag. He may be chasing that a 2 to 3 year contract, but this is maybe a prove it, hey, this is what you missed out on. Let's go win a chip because the Philadelphia Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFC East. Or in the NFC in general, right? And in the NFC East, right? So I think Austin Ekeler could come here in a 1-year deal, say, hey, I can do a lot more than what Miles did. And he's a great pass protector. Oddly enough, he's also a great pass catcher, and he can run in between the tackles. And that's exactly what you need for Jalen Hurts. Maybe not taking too much of those opportunities away from him, take those opportunities away from him on the ground, so he's not missing time like he did, even though he did miss it with a little bit of a different injury in the shoulder. We saw that. I always go back to this, Lamar. You don't want him to be a Lamar and miss some time because he was running the ball so much. So Austin Ekeler here with Kenneth Gainwell, kind of a 1-2 punch duo, a do-it-all back, and they go back into the playoffs with the Austin Ekeler. That's going to be another threat in the air. Ooh. Come on. I mean, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Austin Ekeler, and Jalen Hurts is going to be really, really – it could be deadly, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, the next player we're going to talk about is DeAndre Hopkins. Lot of news out there that DeAndre Hopkins could be traded. Where do you have him going, Badaki? Where is D-Hop landing?
I have him going to your Kansas City Chiefs, and –
okay.
I like it personally. They need an alpha wide receiver. I know Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore's out there, but I'm not a hater of Kadarius Toney. He just needs to stay healthy. He's a very talented.
No, admit what you are. You are absolutely a hater.
I'm a
of
hater
Kadarius Toney.
because
Stop it.
he was being a little bitch when he was on the Giants. But now, oh
See,
my gosh,
hater.
he won a. But
Hater.
now he won a Super Bowl, so now
He's got that.
now he think
like,
he all of
ring
it,
me.
right?
I don't care.
Anyways, look, they needed an alpha wide receiver, and this is exactly what they need. I know Travis Kelce is their alpha, is always going to be Patrick Mahomes' favorite option. But maybe what they need to take him to the next level to do a repeat in the Super Bowl is get a DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins wants to win a Super Bowl, wants to go into the playoffs, wants to do all those things that he probably couldn't have done with the teams that he has been with, right? So DeAndre Hopkins going here, truly being, I guess you can say, the Alpha 1B behind Travis Kelce, being a threat in the middle of the field is going to be phenomenal. And there's no doubt in my mind that Andy Reid will give him that opportunity and allocate those targets for him, because we all know Kadarius Toney ain't gonna stay on the field for all 17 games, right?
Hater.
It's true. But he got 111 targets this past year. Juju leaves 101 targets this past year. There's easily 110, 115 plus more for DeAndre Hopkins if he does go on this team. So I like this, and he's being shopped right now. Second round pick. Third round pick. I mean, what's the last pick in the second round?
Yeah, I'd pay that.
Why not, right? For DeAndre Hopkins, especially with the Chiefs. I don't even know what's 32, pick 60, quick maths. 64.
It'd be 63 actually, because the Dolphins don't have their first round pick.
True. So why not pick 64 for DeAndre Hopkins?
All right, so you have DeAndre Hopkins going to one of my favorite teams. I have him going to your New York Football Giants. This team... Look, this is the reality for Daniel Jones, okay? This team needs Daniel Jones to be the answer right now. Right now. They don't care how, but they need him to get help, and they need to provide him with everything surrounding him to be worthy of this contract that they have given him, okay? Everyone in the NFL outside of that Giants organization is saying, could I see those numbers again? You paid how much to Daniel Jones? You paid how much to him? The Giants need Daniel Jones to be worthy of this contract. And I promise you, as Badaki would want, the Giants want to prove everyone wrong and say, yeah, he was worth this contract. You just didn't know what he was capable of yet, right? And
that's
you can
right,
see this. Times. You can see this with the Darren Waller trade. They already traded for a tight end who was 31 by the time the season begins. Why not trade for an elite wide receiver who will be 31 by the time the season begins, right? And if you add Darren Waller, DeAndre Hopkins, all of a sudden Daniel Jones becomes close to an elite fantasy option. Close. You got DHop, Darren Waller, Saquon, Wandale, Paris Campbell becomes your wide receiver 3 or 4. That's all of a sudden a pretty decent room. And you combine that with his rushing upside. This team is already fighting for a division title. They're fighting for the playoffs. Continue to go all in. Don't overthink it. Oh, he's too old. Shut up. You need a player like him. Grab him and then worry about getting a younger player. Okay? It's just ridiculous how many people are like, he's too old. He's DeAndre Hopkins. If it doesn't work out, draft someone else later. I've got DeAndre Hopkins going to your New York Football Giants.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Do you like it?
I've never been a fan of DHop coming to the Giants, and it's because
Paris Campbell's the answer.
It's old. He's old. And I know we got Darren Waller. It's true. We got Darren Waller, but go look at his contract and look what we paying him. Pennies, peanuts, nothing. And we can cut him next year, and DeAndre Hopkins is going to want a long contract extension with some money.
Okay, don't give it to him then. This is the thing. Don't give it to him.
We have to give a second. And I'd rather give my first and a second to move up in the draft and get a Quinton and get a JSN. That's what I'd rather.
That's a pipe dream, I think. Though.
I know it is a pipe dream, but I'd rather go younger than get DeAndre Hopkins, because you're right. We do need to know what Daniel Jones is now.
Giants fans, they don't want to be happy.
I think there's some Giants fans that like him and don't. But anyways, next one.
That's fair. All right, let's talk about Derrick Henry. I got Derrick Henry, Durka going to the Baltimore Ravens. This team is a run-focused team. It has been for a long time. In 2019, they ran the ball more than anyone in the NFL. The same in 2020, first in attempts per game. In 2021, third in attempts per game. This last year in 2022, sixth in attempts per game. And I think that would have been higher if Lamar Jackson wasn't injured. But they have been held back by reliability at the position. In 2022, they rotated Kenyon Drake, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. I mean, I forgot about Kenyon Drake when I was making this video. I was like, how many carries did Kenyon Drake get? In 2021, the year before, they rotated Devonta Freeman, Latavius Murray, Tyson Williams, Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, it's true. Le'Veon Bell was on this team. For a team that is completely centered around the run, there's no reliability here. If it's not Derrick Henry, it'll be someone in the draft, in my opinion. But I think Derrick Henry gives this team, if you do sign Lamar Jackson and bring him back, then they give this team some extra needed reliability at the position. When healthy, they have a top 5 running back. J.K. Dobbins becomes your Tony Pollard on the team, and Lamar Jackson could be lethal with these weapons around him. It's impossible to deal with that many rushing options. So let's bring Derrick Henry to Baltimore, and I don't think it's going to cost any more than a third or a fourth round pick, honestly, with how old Derrick Henry is. I think the Titans are looking at this as a contract dump off. They don't want to pay him the money. No. They don't. I mean, they would prefer a first round pick, but we're not in Candyland. You have to be realistic, right? Like, this is probably a third or fourth round pick. So
yeah, no, I agree. I like that landing spot. My landing spot is the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to all my Dallas Cowboys fan. If Bijan Robinson is not at the pick 26, you have to go and pivot, right? Like, who do you go? Where does Jerry go and make the big splash in? And that is Derrick Henry, excuse me. And look, he's the big guy that you need, right? It kind of fits the mold of what you guys always had, with the Zekes and all the running back history with the Dallas Cowboys. And the Titans, like Zach said, are shopping Derrick Henry and probably want to get rid of his contract. And the Cowboys are in need of a playmaker. You get Brandon Cooks, you get CeeDee Lamb now, you get a Derrick Henry that's going to be pounding the rock, and he still has the mileage, in my opinion. We saw it. He didn't miss a step in 2020, 349 attempts, over 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns. He still got it in him. Yes, he may be an older, aging running back, but he probably got another year or two in him for Dallas to make a playoff push, to get him to get this team to the next level. So I feel really comfortable there doing that and getting a Derrick Henry for the Cowboys, right? So, I mean, this offense will just look really, really disgusting. I would hate it personally if I was a Giant, and I am a Giants fan, but if I'm playing the Cowboys, right? Derrick Henry, Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott with Tony Pollard, and maybe a young tight end that they're probably going to draft, I think this team will go to the next level here, and Derrick Henry is probably exactly what they need to take him there.
Don't disrespect Jake Ferguson. They already drafted a young tight end, and he's home.
Jake Ferguson. He's
on
home.
To the next player, Dalvin Cook. But Aki, where do you have Dalvin Cook headed?
The Buffalo Bills. He's going to go play with his brother. We're going to see the Cook duo. Huh? It's Dalvin. No, it's James. Oh, no, it's Dalvin. They're both on the field. Holy shit. It's Dalvin and Cook. And Dalvin and Cook. It's Dalvin and James. I really like this landing spot. This is the 1-2 punch that exactly what the Buffalo Bills need. Not only can Dalvin catch the ball, but he can also run it between the tackles. He's a decent pass blocker as well. And I think that's exactly what Josh Allen needs. He can't be running anymore. You need a guy that can run in between the tackles. He can't get injured. You need to protect the assets in Josh Allen. Dalvin Cook is a perfect example. I know Zeke has been in the talks, but I think Dalvin has a little bit more juice left to give. And I think it's just a nice story. With James and Dalvin coming together, playing, it's just cool, right? So I like this. And he finished RB11 last year, which is not terrible. He probably didn't get the return that you wanted, right? But at the same time, RB11 still top 15 running back finish. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
So when we made the script, I also had Dalvin to the Bills.
Mm-hmm. So I thought we could talk about it both.
Yeah. So I originally just want to claim that, I'm on board with the Bills as well. I think it's a great idea. I think it would be really fun, and I think it makes sense for the team. I wanted to bring an alternate perspective because Bills would be my number one choice as well. Mm-hmm. But I want to throw a wrench into the plans here. Maybe I'm speaking this into existence.
I almost had Austin Ekeler going to this team. Almost, by the way.
I think it could really piss some people off. Mm-hmm. How about Dalvin Cook to the New York Jets? Look, Brees Hall owners, I don't want this either. I don't want this. If I'm own Brees Hall, I get it. I don't want it either. But let's think about it. When will Brees Hall be ready? Okay, people are saying he's going to be ready when the season starts. I'm more skeptical. With Aaron Rodgers joining this team, I think it's all but done. They're going to figure it out. This team is the definition of all in. Rodgers, historically, has had two really good running backs in his backfield. Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. This team cannot start the season with Zonovan Knight. As much as I love Bam, this team cannot start the season with him as their RB1. Yeah, Michael Carter's on the roster, but Michael Carter couldn't beat out Zonovan Knight last year, okay? Michael Carter truthers, I'm sorry. Lay him down to rest. It's over. This team cannot start with the season with Zonovan Knight as the RB1 waiting for Brees Hall to get healthy. So Dalvin gives you an incredible option at the running back position. And as he ages and Brees Hall gets healthier and healthier, you make that transition back, right? We're not in a position that the Ravens were in last year. I know it's a different injury, like severity of it, rather. But you're not in a position last year where the Ravens are waiting on J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, and we're just going to kind of fill the hole with Kenyon Drake. No, this team wants to get wins now. They don't want to overthink it. Get Dalvin Cook in the building, and then as Brees gets healthy, you can release Dalvin Cook next year. Do whatever you want, but I think this gives Brees as much time as he needs to get healthy. Right. And if you are a Brees Hall owner, think about it from this way. There's no pressure to bring him back too early. You want to think about I care much more about his health long term than I do about him being there week one as a Brees owner in some leagues. All right, at number 5, let's talk about Jerry Jeudy. I got Jerry Jeudy going to the Cleveland Browns. My name is Cleveland Brown. If this team wants to be serious championship contenders, this is not enough. What they currently have. No disrespect to Donovan Peoples-Jones.
DPJ.
No disrespect to David Bell, who looked awful this year. David Bell looked awful. And no disrespect to those guys. But I feel like they are much more wide receiver 3s, DPJ stretching the field type of player.
Yeah.
If you want a serious opportunity to win championships, pair Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy together. Two of the best route runners in the NFL on one team. Good luck trying to cover that duo with Nick Chubb pounding the ball in the backfield. This could absolutely reignite Deshaun Watson, his career, get him on the right path, give him a reliable option. And also, this is your duo that you grow with. Amari Cooper isn't old necessarily, but you give Deshaun Watson a younger wide receiver to grow with as Amari Cooper ages. Inevitably, time comes for every man, and eventually Amari Cooper won't be putting up this kind of production. So I don't know if the Browns have enough capital to make it happen, but maybe it's a player plus a pick, right? Maybe it's a cornerback that they have, or a defensive lineman, or an offensive tackle. They got a really good offensive line, and the Broncos could use some help there. So Jerry Jeudy goes to Cleveland, and I like how he would complement Amari Cooper, and I like it for Deshaun Watson as well.
Yeah, very interesting with Jerry Jeudy there. I am going to the Minnesota Vikings. Is a solid wide receiver 2 here for Kirk Cousins, JJ. They just cut Adam Thielen. They're in the market for a wide receiver 2, according to the community, according to, not the community, but to the NFL world community, I guess you can say, reports. Jerry Jeudy, the Broncos are looking for a first for Jerry Jeudy. And they do have the 23rd pick currently. 23rd pick, and I would say if Quentin and Jason is off the board, which we both believe, then you probably go and maybe you send that first for Jerry Jeudy, because I do believe he's a more talented wide receiver than a Jordan Addison, than the Zay Flowers out there. So I would take the chance on Jerry Jeudy and understanding what I'm getting there. Since Thielen's gone, since JJ was drafted in 2020, he was averaging 103 targets per year in the past, 3 years now. Jerry Jeudy has only had 1 year where he's had over 100 yards, 100 targets, and that was in 2020, his rookie year. I think that can easily be surpassed here with Adam Thielen in this offense, with Adam Thielen gone and Jerry Jeudy, Justin Jefferson. It's going to be nice here with Kirk Cousins. Good 2 wide receivers he can rely on. Jerry Jeudy is versatile, so he can play in the slot or out wide. I like this. I like this for this team. And if Jerry Jeudy can do this, maybe they can take Kirk Cousins to the next level and get into the playoffs, which they did. They lost to my Giants. But, Jerry Jeudy can help.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we thought that this would be a fun video to make. Big shout out to guys over at Fantasy Endgame. Make sure you go check out their video. They do incredible work. Yeah. Great production, great ideas, incredible redraft content, best ball content, dynasty content. Some of the best in the industry. So do us a favor. Why don't you comment down below where you think these guys are going to be landing yourselves? Drop a like to show some support. Subscribe if you like Dynasty content. And we will see you guys in the next video. All love. Now that those idiots are done talking, who needs some rankings?
Hell yeah, I need some rankings.
Then use promo code LAND, L-A-N-D, for 30% off any membership at flockfantasy.com.
Oh.
It's so easy. Even your grandma could scan that QR code right there.